possibly the single best day of my entire life. I don't even really remember the date. That's interesting, right? I remember when I got sober, September 6th, 2003. I've been sober for 22 years, and that's a nice, easy number to remember, 963, right? And that is debatable as far as, is that the greatest day of my life, or is the greatest day of my life the day that I no longer had a compulsion to drink? Because it didn't come on that particular day. It came somewhere after the mental ward. I went down to the hospital. I was homeless. Told them I wanted to kill myself because I knew they couldn't turn me away, and I wanted a warm bed. But I still thought about drinking. As a matter of fact, if there was a day that was between the mental ward and the rehab, I already had it planned. Going back out one more time. So the compulsion was still there. I go to rehab and the compulsion is still there, and then one day it was gone while I was in rehab. Possibly the single best day of my life. Because if you're like me, you had that compulsion to drink. It just was always there. I always thought about drinking. So I was either drunk, getting over drinking, or thinking about my next drink. That was my whole life. And now, one day, it's like that. And then the next day, I'm not thinking about drinking. That's why, miracle, that word comes into play. How does that happen? Here's the funny thing. So I've been sober for 22 years, and I haven't wanted to drink probably for that long. I don't think I've ever had a day where I said, you know what, a good fit the vodka would really help here, or a drink here or there. Maybe I had fleeting thoughts, but nothing really serious. However, I have thought about the attractiveness of being unconscious. It doesn't come to me that easily in my head. Like, it comes in different forms. I watch somebody that's maybe not self-aware or is kind of unconscious of their actions, and I think to myself, maybe they're onto something. Maybe being conscious and aware isn't all what it's cracked up to be, because it could get tiring, and I have to take other people into consideration and all these different things, and I'm like, oh man, this is so complicated. Maybe it would be better to be unconscious, because once you become conscious and you become aware, you can't unring that bell and be happy, at least. So I'm making this video just to say that that's where I go sometimes, and I'm still working on that.